Okay, so here's a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. This is about a certain group on the internet or in real life, as many people have seen. As judging by this man's appearance, if you know who he is, if you don't know who he is Elliot Rodger. He is a incel, or as many of the incels would call, the king of incels, the god of incels, whatever you want to call him. So, what is an incel? It is a involuntary celibate. It is someone that thinks that they have been passed on these genes that make them look ugly, and they're not able to pick up women or pick up these or be very strong or masculine in a sense. They believe that they can't reproduce because there are too many chads or something like that. Some stupid shit. Now, this is what it is, right? This is what incels are. They're just males that are very angry because they can't get a woman because they have poor social skills, or they just don't adhere to most of to what people deem, civilized in a sense. Like there are probably some incels that never take showers, or they smell very bad. They don't know how to dress. They don't go to the gym. They don't do any of this stuff or care about themselves, and they can't attract a female because of it. Same with their social skills. They don't work on their social skills. They don't make a personality. You could be the buffest guy you are, right? You could look handsome and everything, but if you have a shit personality, a girl's not gonna fall for you. Same if you have a bunch of money. There are women that will fall for you, but it's not true love if someone loves you for your money. So this is the thing that I want to say, right? When it comes to incels. Now, as a male myself, right? I've had some girlfriends in my past, physical and long relationship. Long relationships never last. Physical sometimes last for a while. Uh, but that's enough about me. Like, you have to have a personality, right? You can't just be nice to a girl and you'll instantly get their hand, in a sense. Being a nice guy is not the way. You have to have an equilibrium, in a sense. You should be nice at some moments, but you should also be real with her on other moments, in a sense where you're not condescending or agreeing to everything. You can't just be a yes man or be an asshole. You have to be in the middle about it. Now, you want to stand out as well when it comes to being a man. So, go out there, speak to people, make experiences, learn something, do something that is interesting to talk to. Like, if you just sit around and play video games all day, you're not gonna be that interesting to a woman. All right, I'm just telling you that straight right now. Uh, you can go outside, talk to friends of yours outside, make like social interactions with people is what I'm trying to tell you. That's something that you have to do. It builds your character, builds your personality as a person. To a female as well, because they'll find you interesting. They'll find something that they like about you, your hobbies and other things. Uh, when it comes to being an incel, most incels, they don't do this. They just work out a lot, and then they're just like, oh, I look so buff. Why don't I have a girlfriend yet? What is this lie? Why are there so many chads that have women and shit? Don't think about it like that. Don't get jealous as well. That's another thing, because you don't want to show a woman your emotions when it comes to this. Showing a girl your emotions all the time is going to show weakness, in a sense. Elliot Hughes actually explains this on how to be an alpha, in a sense, and he's not wrong about that, because I remember every time I would get a girlfriend, I wouldn't just throw my feelings out there. I would just act myself. I would just talk experiences. I would just, you know, be myself, be real with her on time to time, be nice to her on certain points. You just do these things, and then eventually a girl will cave in and be like, I really like this guy. He's been a very big influence to me, and he's been very kind to me. He's always in the middle of the road whenever it comes to some of my decisions. He's not always there to jump on these things as a yes man. And he has this very assertive look to him and this assertive feel that he can control something, because you always have to be assertive as well. You can't just be uh like a no man or a yes man, but you have to give your opinion on something and you have to be assertive about that opinion. You have to hammer it down. You can't just submit to her or to submit to anyone else because that shows weakness as a man. You have to be the alpha of the pack, and it's not that hard to be the alpha of the pack. You just have to know and go on gut feelings rather than on these feelings that it's more emotional in a sense. Like you can't just, well, it's kind of hard to explain how to be an alpha in a sense, but you have to be that leader. You have to stand up to the occasion. You just can't let uh your courage, you can't just let your courage just be there in the back waiting for you. You have to have that courage out all the time whenever speaking to a girl. And don't just go in creepily and say all these compliments all the time to her, because come on, man. Like that's kind of it gets kind of corny and old after a while. Uh Giving women compliments all the time. Like compliment them a few times, but don't make the subject about her all the time in a sense when it comes to this. But remember this, all right? Like deem yourself to social standards in a sense. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, there are always the cringy incels that don't listen to advice like this on how to, appeal to women or how to talk to people in a sense, because this is the thing with most incels, they have very bad social issues. And it's something that you can fix by being social, by talking to people. Like, don't bring up something creepy and talk about it for a very long time in a sense. Like, let's say if you bring up video games to a conversation, right? Like your buddies are talking about football, some cool shit that's been happening, or something funny that they saw, like a small experience. They keep it short and concise when it comes to it. But when people talk about video games, when they're incels and they talk about video games, they go on for a very long time and then it gets uncomfortable because most of those people are just like, okay, like video games, all right, yeah, man. Like I've played that video game before. You don't have to talk about it so much, or you could have just mentioned that video game very fast, and then that would have been it. And that's really it. Like video games are more of a thing that you want to keep on the inside in a sense, right? Like you can bring it up real fast and say, "Oh yeah, this is a pretty good one." If you want to just like waste a bit of time, man. Like that's pretty cool. Just talk about like other stuff though. Like talk about some relatable stuff because not everyone has time to play video games. Now, when it comes to incels, there are the desperate ones as well. That was the whole thing that I was talking about with social thing. Now, when it comes to desperate incels, you can't look too desperate to a woman. Looking too desperate shows that you'll drop for anything in a sense. Like you'll do anything for anyone, and it shows weakness, kind of. Like it's good to do stuff for people. It's very good to do stuff for people, but you have to consider like how far like your kindness can go to a girl, because this is how being desperate works. If you act too kind, they'll know you're desperate. They know that you want them and they'll want to see you work harder and harder for them. And once they find out that you're desperate and they felt like they've been entertained, they'll just drop you for someone else that's not desperate, that they feel like they can try their game to try and get in that type of sense. But I'm gonna try and keep this video short in the sense of talking to incels. Like, yeah. So just to go over the points that I've said, be more social. Go out there, talk to people, talk to your neighbor, talk to friends, your parents, whatever. Just be social. Learn the game of being social. Don't be creepy. Like, don't talk about a girl all the time, like, to her. Like, you can compliment her and then talk to her about normal stuff, random stuff. Doesn't matter. As long as it piques her interest, or as long as you give her company, she'll appreciate it. It's something that every human being appreciates, company. You just can't talk about a person all the time right there close to them, because then they'll feel like they have that you have this desperate affection for them, or they'll find that you're a creep. Uh, Being desperate, looking for women basically of any size, of any manner, shape, or form. Don't do that. You guys can do so much better. You're just driving your standards lower and lower. Every guy can do very good. There are fat guys out there with great personalities that have some really cute babes. Sometimes some even hot ones because of that personality. And working out and social norms. I don't think I went over this one, but I'll do it quickly. Workout. Nobody likes a slob. Whenever you see someone that's fat or a slob, that type of stuff, like you look at those types of people, and what would you see if you saw someone that was like 500 pounds overweight, or someone that you know is unhealthy? You would think they're dying. It's something that Gavin McInnes and many other conservatives say when it comes to fat people in the fat movement. You'll think they're dying. And it's the same thing that goes with you, incels, or people that believe they are incels. When you're fat, a lot of women are going to look at you and they're going to be like, well, I don't know if I want to be with him because he looks physically unattractive and he looks like he's dying. You can't just be overweight and expect to get a girlfriend from that. Uh, Plus, being fat also gives you all these negative things like smelling bad. Smelling bad is one thing that you can get by being fat because you start to sweat a lot. Sweat just, like, how do I explain? Sweat just makes you smell worse because there's all these germs on your skin, and now they're getting emanated the by the sweat off of your body because it starts to dry and then it starts to go into the air as vapor, and then they could just smell this stench off of you. So be clean, take a shower and stuff. Just be healthy in a sense. Be socially healthy. Be healthy in real life, and try and find the one that's perfect for you. And try and show her that you're just there as a protector, as an alpha in a sense. Be a leader when it comes to this type of stuff. Don't just sit there and say, oh, I can't do it, I'm an involuntary celibate. Telling yourself this type of stuff is going to make the situation worse for you, and you'll never end up with a girlfriend. You can't just do that. Just think about your life. Don't think about, I need a girlfriend now. Just think about your life, alright? Just think about it like that, alright?